story of the judge. How he became judge, how he passed judgment, what kind of judge he was. On the Easter Sunday, the Great Revolt, when the Grand Duke was overthrown, and the governor, Abishwili, father of our child, lost his head. The village scrivener, Azdak, found a fugitive in the woods. He hid him in his hut. Azdak, in rags and slightly drunk, is helping this old beggar into his cottage.
Stop snorting! You're not a horse! And it won't do you any good with the police to run like a snotty nose in April. Stand still, I say! Sit down. Feed. Here's a hunk of cheese. Haven't eaten in a long time, huh? Why were you running like that? The cop wouldn't have seen you.
Had to.
Cold feet? Panic? Don't lick your chops like a Grand Duke or an old sow. I can't stand it. We have to accept respectable stinkers as God made them, but not you. I once heard of a senior judge who farted at a public dinner just to show an independent spirit. Watching you eat like that gives me the most awful ideas. Why don't you say something? Show me your hand. White. So you're not a beggar at all. A fraud, a walking swindle. And I'm hiding you from the cops like you were an honest man. Why were you running like that if you're a landowner? For that's what you are. Don't deny it. I can see it in your guilty face.
Pursued. Need undivided attention. Make proposition?
Make what? A proposition? Well, if that isn't the height of insolence. The bitten man scratches his fingers bloody, while the leech that's biting him makes him a proposition. Get out, I tell you!
Understand point of view. Persuasion. 100,000 piastres. One night, yes.
What, you think you can buy me? For 100,000 piastres? Let's say 150,000. Where are they?
Have not them here, of course. Will be sent. Hope do not doubt.
Doubt very much. Go home and repent. You're surprised, are you? Surprised I didn't hand you over? Don't tremble. So old and still so scared. Finish your cheese, but eat it like a poor man, or else they'll catch you. Must I even explain how a poor man behaves? I don't trust you.
Azdak discovered that the old beggar was the old butcher, the Grand Duke himself. Ashamed, he denounced himself and ordered policemen to take him to Kanuka, to court, to be judged.
I've helped the Grand Duke, the Grand Butcher, the Grand Thief to escape. In the name of justice, I ask to be severely judged in public trial.
The judge is dead, so I brought along my dear niece. She'll be the new judge. I want your opinions. Let the people decide.
Does this mean we get to elect the judge?
Precisely. Let the people propose some very gifted fellow. Confer among yourselves, my friends. Don't worry, my little fox. The job is yours.
I'll be the defendant.
You?
We'll stage a rehearsal. Our friend here will be the defendant. Why not? Anything for a laugh. Let the candidates sit there and be the judge. Come here, O'Malley, my little fox. What have I taught you? Who got there first? The slow runner or the fast?
The silent runner, Uncle Larson.
Is any here knows me? I'm Grand Duke. Listen, I'm accused of instigating war. Ridiculous. I'm saying ridiculous. That enough? If not, have brought lawyers. We need 500. Requisition all available seats for lawyers.
You really wish me to try this case? I find it rather unusual. From the taste angle, I mean.
Let him have it, my little fox.
All right,
What?
What a mad
One cannot be arraigned for declaring a war, which every ruler must do once in a while, only for running a war badly.
Rubbish! Did not run war. Had it run. Had it run by princes. Naturally, they messed it up.
Hang him. Hang him.
Quiet! I will now render a verdict. You are to be hanged by the neck, having lost a war.
Young lady, seriously advise not fall publicly into turkey-clipped speech. Cannot be watchdog if howl like wolf. Got it? By the way, much overruled verdict. Reason? War lost, but not for princes. Princes won their war. Got 3,863,000 piastres. 4 horses not delivered. 3,240,000 piastres. For food not produced. Are therefore victors. War lost only for Garcinia, which is not in this court.
I think that will do, my friends. You can withdraw, Bunman. You may ratify the new judge's appointment soon, my friends.
Yes, we can. Take down the judge's gown. Now run away, so we can find the bride for
Not when I go boss.
you. Step forward. Go to the judge's stand. The judge was always a rascal, but now the rascal shall be a judge. And what a judge.
And there was civil war in the land. The mighty were not safe. Azdak was made judge by the Iron Shirts, and Azdak remained judge for 2 years. For 2 years, it was his pleasure to give beasts of prey short measure. He became a wolf to fight the pack, from All Hallows to All Hallows, on the chair beside the gallows, dispensing justice in his fashion, sat Azdak.
You have perpetrated an unpardonable error in the in the practice of your medical profession. You are acquitted. Next case.
For those who've only got a penny, they've one single resource, Azdak.
This is a case of intentional assault with a dangerous weapon. The court sentences you to hand over the little road which your father liked to ride on his son's behalf.
But the air of disorder came to an end. The governor's wife returned, a trial was held, many died.
Yes, so it might have been, had order been neglected much longer. The people's court was already inflamed. I reached into the rich man's pocket, which is in bad taste, and I can hide no longer. Everybody knows me, because I've helped everybody. Somebody's coming.
What sort of creature are you?
A willing one, Your Highness. A man ready to oblige.
Right. My name is Natea Abashvili, wife of the late governor. I'm here because I'm looking for my son Michael. It was told to me that he was taken into the mountains by one of my servants.
The child will be brought back, Your Highness, at your service.
They say that the servant is passing her off as her own.
She will be beheaded, Your Highness, at your service.
Good. I don't like you.
At your service, Your Highness. It will be arranged.
Hear now the story of the trial concerning Governor Abashvili's child and the determination of the true mother by the famous test of the chalk circle.
It's Aztec, a drunk who doesn't know what he's doing. The biggest of thieves have gone by through him, because he always gets things mixed up and the rich never offer him enough money. The likes of us sometimes do pretty well.
I need luck right now.
Knock on wood. I better offer up another prayer that the judge may be drunk. Why must you hold on to it at such a price if it isn't yours? In days like these?
He's mine. I brought him up.
Didn't you ever think of what would happen when she came back?
First I thought I'd give him to her. Then I thought she'd never come back.
And even a borrowed coat keeps a man warm? Well, I'll swear anything for you. You're a decent girl. You've done wrong by Simon, though. I've been talking to him. He just can't understand.
Right now, I can't be bothered whether he understands or not.
He knows the child isn't yours, but you married and you're not free till death do you part. He can't understand that.
I wish the young lady to know. I swear I am the father.
Thank you, Simon.
I also wish the young lady to know that I swear my hands are not tied, nor hers.
Well, you needn't have said that. You know she's married.
There's no need for rubbing it in.
Where's the judge? Has anyone seen the judge?
The judge isn't here yet. Nothing but a pitcher and a bed in the entire house.
Well, I hope nothing has happened to him. With any other judge, you'd have as much chance as a chicken has teeth.
I hope that there are not going to be any common people here. Oh, I just can't stand them. Their smell gives me a migraine.
Madam, please be careful what you say.
Oh, really? It's fine. I love the common people in their simple ways. It's really just their smell that gives me a migraine.
There won't be many spectators. All of them are at home, behind locked doors, because of the riots in the people's quarters.
Well, thank God for the riots. Is that the creature?
Please, most gracious Natea Abishwili, abstain from invective until it is certain the Grand Duke has appointed a new judge. This judge is probably the lowest fellow ever seen in judge's gown. It's all set to move. You see,
Her Grace would pull your hair out on the spot if she didn't know Aztec went for the poor. But he goes by the face.
What is the meaning of this case?
a quite ridiculous case, Your Honor. This girl has abducted a child and refuses to hand it over.
A most attractive person. I declare the proceedings open and demand the whole truth, especially from you.
Your Honor, blood, as the popular saying goes, is thicker than water. This old...
The court wants to know the lawyer's fee.
I beg your pardon? Ah, I see. 500 piastres, Your Honor, for the court's most unusual question.
Did you hear? The question is unusual. I ask it because I listen in quite a different way when I know you're good.
Thank you, Your Honor. High Court of Justice. Of all ties, the ties of blood are strongest. Mother and child, is there a more intimate relationship? Can one tear a child from its mother? High Court of Justice, she has conceived it in the holy ecstasies of love. She has carried it in her womb. She has borne it with pain. High Court of Justice, it is observed that a wild tigress, robbed of its young, will roam through the mountains, shrunk to shadow. Nature
What's
itself...
your answer to all this? And anything else that lawyer might have to say?
He's mine.
Is that all? I hope you can prove it. Why should I assign the child to you in any case?
I brought him up, like the priest says, according to my best knowledge and conscience. I always found him something to eat. Most of the time he had a roof over his head. And I went to so much trouble for him. I had expenses too, but I didn't look out for my own comfort. I brought the child up to be friendly with everyone, and from the beginning, taught him how to work. As well as I could, that is. He's still very little.
Your Honor, it is something that the girl doesn't claim any ties of blood,
Court makes note of that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, please permit a woman bowed in sorrow, who has lost her husband and is at risk of losing her beloved child. Please let the most gracious Natea
You
Abishvili...
simply don't understand, Your Honor. You don't understand the sleepless nights, the anxiety I felt.
It's outrageous, the way this woman is being treated. Her husband's palace is closed to her. The revenue of her estates are blocked. And she's cold-bloodedly told that it's all tied to the heir. She can't do a single thing without that child. She can't even pay her lawyers.
Please, my honored colleague, we agree that even though this trial will decide whether or not my client takes over the estates, that Michael Abishvili is the heir of, and they are very vast, I must say, the child will still be a beloved...
Stop! The court is touched by the mention of estates. It's a proof of human feeling.
Thank you, Your Honor. In any case, we can prove that the woman who took the child is not the child's mother. Allow me to lay before the court the bare facts. Your Honor, in a chain of unfortunate circumstances, Michael Abishvili was left behind on that Easter Sunday, while his mother made her escape. Grusha, a kitchen palace maid.
All her mistress was thinking of is what dresses she would take along.
Nearly a year later, Grusha was seen in a mountain village where he entered into the...
How'd you get to that mountain village?
On foot, Your Honor. And he was mine.
I'm the father, Your Honor.
I used to look after it for them, Your Honor, for 5 piastres.
This man is engaged to Grusha. His testimony is suspect.
Are you the man she married in this mountain village?
No. She married a peasant.
Why? Does he not please you? Tell the truth.
We didn't get that far. I married because of the baby, so he'd have a roof over his head. He was in war, Your Honor.
And now he wants you back, huh?
No longer free, Your Honor.
And the child you claim is illegitimate and has no father? I'm going to ask you a question. What kind of child is he? A ragged little urchin or from a good family?
He's an ordinary child.
I mean, did he have refined features from the beginning?
He had a nose on his face.
A very significant comment. It has been said of me that I once went out and sniffed at a rose bush before rendering a verdict. Tricks like that are needed nowadays. Look, I'll cut this short and not listen to any more of your lies. Especially not yours. I can imagine what you've cooked up to cheat me today. I know you people. You're swindlers.
I can understand why you're wanting to cut it short. Now I've seen what you've accepted.
Shut up. Have I accepted anything from you?
I haven't got anything.
Exactly. And from starvelings I never get a thing. I may just as well starve myself. When you go to the butcher, you know you have to pay. But you people come to a judge like you were off to a funeral supper. You people are much too dumb. It's only right you should get it in the neck.
You want to hand the child over to her? She wouldn't even know how to keep it dry. She's so refined. You know about as much as justice as I do.
There's something in that. I'm an ignorant man. Haven't got a decent pair of pants on under this gown. For me, everything goes on food and drink. I was raised in a convent. And incidentally, I'll find you 10 piastres for contempt of the court. You're a very silly girl for turning me against you instead of smiling and batting your eyes a little to keep me in a good temper. 20 piastres.
Even if it was 30, I'd tell you what I think of your justice, you drunken onion. How dare you talk to me like the cracked Isaiah on the church window? As if you were somebody? For you weren't born to this. You weren't born to wrap your own mother on the knuckles for swiping a bowl of salt someplace. Aren't you ashamed as you see how I tremble before you? You would have made yourself their servant, so nobody will take houses away from them. Houses they had stolen. Since when did houses belong to bedbugs? But you're on your watch, or they couldn't drag our men into war. You bribe taker! I have no respect for you. No more than a thief
We're not going to continue squabbling. We're not in a tavern. Anyway, I've lost interest in your case. Where's the couple that wanted a divorce? Bring him in. This case is adjourned for 15 minutes.
Madam, even with their false evidence, we have the verdict in the bag.
Gone and lost your chances with them now, Grusha.
Oh, hon, I just need my smelling salts. Go and get them. Go get them now. Thank you.
I accept. I heard you wanted a divorce. How long have you been married?
14 years, Your Honor.
And why do you want a divorce?
We don't like each other, Your Honor.
How long has that been?
Well, from the very beginning, Your Honor.
I'll think about your request and render my verdict when I'm through with the other case. I need the child. I see you have a soft spot for justice. I don't believe he's your child. But if he were yours, woman, wouldn't you want him to be rich? All you'd have to say is that he wasn't yours, and he'd have a palace, and many horses in his stable, and many beggars on his doorstep, and many soldiers in his service, and many petitioners in his courtyard. What do you say, woman? Don't you want him to be rich?
Hear what the angry girl thought, but did not say. Had he golden shoes to wear, he'd be cruel as a bear. Evil would his life disgrace. He'd laugh in my face. Carrying an air of flint is too troublesome a stint. Being powerful and bad is hard on a lad. So let hunger be his foe. Hungry men and women know. Let him fear the darksome night, but not the daylight.
I think I understand you now, woman.
I won't give him up. I raised him and he knows me.
Is that him? He's in rags! What have you done, you vulgar creature? How dare you treat him that way? She is no sweet wit! She don't even hate! You're out of the
Plaintiff and defendant. The court has come to no real decision as to who the real mother is. As such, I am obliged to choose a mother for the child. I'll make a test. Guards, take this chalk. Now draw a circle on the floor. Come on. You haven't gone all day. There we are. Now place the child in the center of it. Now each of you, come take the child by one hand. The real mother is she who can pull the child from the circle.
Your Honor, I must object. The Abba's real estates, which are balanced on the child as the heir, cannot be placed in such a doubtful duel. In addition, my client's not as used to physical work as she is.
She looks pretty well fed to me. Hold!
The test that determines the child's fate also puts him in danger. What can be done? Is one side really more evil than the other? Are both sides completely selfish, or are they both selfish? As we now take time to look inside of ourselves, what do we see? What would we have done? And what would our judgment be? Is it safe to say that we don't all live perfect lives, but we do the best for the ones we love? How much should we give up for the ones we love? And how much do we?
The court has decided who the real mother of the child is. Take your child and be off. I advise you not stay within the city. And you! Get out of here before I find you for fraud! Your estates fall to the city. They'll be converted into a playground for the children.
You can't do that!
They need one, and I've decided it'll be named after me. Asgard.
Well, you can't.
I'm going to take off this gown. It's far too hot for me. I wasn't cut out to be a hero. I'd like to invite all of you to a little dance in the garden outside. Oh, I almost forgot my excitement. Divorce. Yes.
But that's not right. You've not divorced the old couple. You divorced Grusha.
Divorce the wrong couple? What's a pity? And I never retract. What would happen to my dignity as a judge if I did? I've got 40 piastres coming from you.
That's cheap a price, sir.
I'll be getting this.
So we better leave the city tonight, Michael. You like him?
With all my respects, I like it.
No, I can tell you. I took a quiz on that Easter Sunday. I got engaged to you. So he's a child of love.
After that night, Aztec vanished and was never seen again. The people of Garcinia did not forget him, but long remembered the era of his judging as a brief golden age, almost an age of justice. But to you, you who have listened to the story of the Chalk Circle, take note.